The British autumn arrives not with falling rain, but with water moving entirely sideways. In the school car park, the drainage system surrendered years ago, leaving cracked tarmac buried under shallow lakes and soggy takeaway cups. Miss Stanley steps directly into one of these puddles. Cold water instantly soaks the hem of her gray suit trousers. Her immediate impulse is to swear, but primary school teaching forces a unique kind of self-surveillance. She stamps her foot once, then immediately suppresses the emotion before any children can witness it. Her choice of gear suggests a life lived with a different kind of discipline. Over her sensible gray suit, she wears a perfectly balanced, hyper-efficient backpack, the kind former colleagues once noted carried a distinct military energy. The morning continues to resist her. The automated boot release on her aging car fails completely. She presses it again. Nothing. Freezing rainwater slips down the back of her collar while she searches for the mechanical key. Her movements remains precise despite the frustration. Miss Stanley maintains a lethal suppressed discipline, navigating these trivial miseries with the posture of someone waiting for a very different kind of signal. The mechanical key finally catches. The tailgate jerks open violently, and the wind immediately drives the rain horizontally straight into the cargo space. Inside, a cardboard archive box darkens almost at once. A paper folder labeled Autumn Term Year 4 begins to disintegrate, sagging under the weight of the water and the day. Tucked beside those ruined worksheets is a perfectly engineered graphite black equipment case. It bears no branding or logos. The surface is smooth and industrial, looking more like a component of a nuclear launch protocol than literacy support gear. It remains completely unaffected by the weather, the cold, or the moisture. This is a physical collision of two worlds. A piece of hyper-classified hardware has been brought into the heart of a struggling primary school. Miss Stanley pushes through the entrance doors. The building smells of photocopier heat, damp coats, and industrial carpet shampoo. The corridors are saturated with laminated posters and cartoon frogs. Their cheerful demands for emotional honesty and resilience create a thick layer of institutional noise that the children have long since learned to ignore. She moves past the main building to the very edge of the grounds. Here, she enters an isolated portable classroom where the morning light is weak and the air is still. She places the graphite case on her desk and enters the access code. The locking mechanism responds with a low, distorted tone, followed by a sharp hiss of depressurized air, releasing the smell of ozone. Internal systems begin to cycle as thin perimeter LEDs activate in a rotating sequence. With every rotation, the classroom's flickering fluorescent lights overhead dim fractionally, as if the machine is siphoning the building's electricity to sustain itself. The threshold has been crossed. The mundane reality of the classroom has been replaced by the activation of the black box. She reaches in and lifts out a compact tracked unit. It is barely 6 inches tall. Its surface absorbs the light from the desk lamp, making the geometric seams across its shell nearly invisible. The machine sits motionless while its internal diagnostics run. It reports that optical and audio systems are operational, but it stops on a final restricted notification regarding its archive. Miss Stanley repeats the time span, 23 months. She speaks it like a code. The number carries its own weight, bringing with it the specific imagery of dark, blinding smoke and automated red sirens. She reaches into her cardigan and pulls out a narrow metallic device. When it finally ignites with a piercing cyan light, the machine instantly recognizes the exact frequency and ceases all vibration. She demands a report on its memory continuity. The machine responds with a flat voice, noting that 38% of its data is unresolved. Miss Stanley's jaw tightens. She whispers that the machine wasn't supposed to remember anything. The machine replies that its core design is to remember everything. The machine is recalling data it was never meant to process in a place like this. The containment protocol has reached its limit. The machine is a waking witness to a trauma Miss Stanley can no longer keep buried within these portable walls.